So I've been looking forward to this conversation for a long, long time because my next guest's name has come up for a while, and then I actually heard he did an interview on another podcast, and I realized how jealous I was, and I'm willing to admit it. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Ross Gordon, the CEO and founder of Catchco. Ross, welcome to the program.
Shalom. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on the program.
Absolutely. Ross, you are, first of all, on your LinkedIn, you in your About section, which I believe needs to be succinct, you really summarize it well, rescuing people from the indoors. And I absolutely love that. Ross, you are the CEO and founder of a fishing company. Can you tell us what got you into that world?
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in Minnesota as a kid, and there were 3 lakes within 10 minutes of my house. So as a kid, fishing was just part of life, something, my dad taught me when I was younger, something I'd do with friends on the weekend, and really just fell in love with the outdoors as a kid. And so fishing has been a passion of mine since I was young. And as I got older and, started to learn the ins and outs of fishing and eventually started my career in digital marketing, as I progressed through my career and I was working on things I was far less passionate about, I always had in the back of my mind been trying to think of a way to work on something that was, tied to one of my passions. And, I had a different company in a different industry that I had sold, and I was thinking about what to do next. And one of the things that always frustrated me in fishing is just how complicated of a category this is, especially for people who are new to fishing. But even if you've been fishing your whole life, it can be very overwhelming to figure out what to fish, where to fish, how to use it, what kind of species you're going to catch. And so I thought, there's got to be an easier way to do this to get people into the sport. And so I started my first company, Mystery Tackle Box, which was a monthly fishing subscription, which has now become Catchco, which is, a much larger company related to fishing.
It's awesome. And I think I told you earlier last week that I'll actually give him a shout out. As our listeners know, I serve in the Army Reserve. And so my platoon sergeant, shout out to Sergeant First Class John Carambellis. He's a regular fisherman, and I wanted to get him a gift, and it turns out that he's already a subscriber of yours and a big fan, and I hear this repeatedly, which again leads back to my jealousy of bringing you onto the show. So you have certainly learned a number of lessons in entrepreneurship. It happens to be, I think, sounds like a dream job for you, where you're bringing your love for the outdoors and your love for, of course, entrepreneurship and business ownership together. But what were some of the lessons you've learned along the way in pursuing that dream?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And there's obviously so many different things I've learned. I started this company 8 years ago, but before that, I started a different company called CraftJack. Before that, I was doing internet marketing for myself. And so I've been at startups and digital marketing in one form or another. And there's so much I've learned. I think there's 1 or 2 things that I always tell other kind of aspiring entrepreneurs when they're asking me questions. And I think the first thing that I always tell people is recognize that your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. And this isn't something I thought of. Somebody told this to me one time, and it's probably from a book out there. But it was such a powerful idea because as an entrepreneur, when you first start a company, there's so many things that you're working on. You're literally struggling to get everything off the ground. You're juggling, so many balls in the air. You're wearing so many hats. You have to do all these things. But at some point, you start to understand what you're really good at and what makes you special and what's going to make your company special. But then also at some point, you'll understand that there's an inverse effect of that, and that the things that make you special are also going to cause your weaknesses. And a great example of this for me, one of my strengths has always been my creativity and my ability to come up with a number of ideas for something I'm working on. And that's really been a big part of our success is how we've approached this industry and some of the creative things we've done. But on the flip side of that, sometimes, I'm too creative and I think of too many ideas for something and I get distracted when I should be focusing on something. And it took me a long time to realize this and to start to train myself to look out for these pitfalls I would get myself in continually. So, idea, your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. I think one other idea, and I actually posted something on my LinkedIn, I think it was actually this morning about this, but it has to do with finding the things that you're both good at and passionate about. This is not just for entrepreneurs, but anyone in their career. If they can identify both the things that they're passionate about and the things they're good at and focus their career on that, they will not only be incredibly successful, but they're going to have an incredibly meaningful and happy career. And too many times people get stuck either doing things that they're good at but they don't enjoy, or focus on things they enjoy, but maybe they're not their strengths. But if you can find a way to align those things, you're really setting yourself up for success. It's a very powerful combination of passion and skill.
Oh, it's, and I love that you are self-reflective on, and you share a lot of that, by the way, on LinkedIn. Learning from your mistakes and learning how to grow, and that certainly has been, it sounds like, part of that evolution. Companies continue to grow, and that's some great entrepreneurial advice. So we're going to squeeze in a quick break, but before we do that, Ross, you still love to fish, and you still love to be in the outdoors. Where's your favorite destination? Your favorite escape, I should say, when you want to get out of the office?
No, that's a great question. There's so many local lakes that I tend to fish that I fish because they're close to me, but they're not great fishing, especially in the Chicagoland area. If I'm really looking to fish somewhere good, I'll try to go somewhere up in Wisconsin. Has some really great locations. Lake Geneva can be fun, Lake Delavan. But I was actually up in Sturgeon Bay this springtime, and I went smallmouth bass fishing there, and it was one of the most incredible fishing days I've ever had. So now it's kind of on my list of places I need to continue to go back to fish.
Oh, that's exciting. And at any point in your journeys, have you come across subscribers to Mystery Tackle Box?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually one of the most meaningful and fun things that happens to me. Whether I'm out fishing, I see people wearing a Mystery Tackle Box T-shirt, or one time I was fishing earlier this summer, and it was bittersweet. There was one of our boxes was on the ground, so someone had thrown it. It fell out of the trash. So I picked up the trash. It was bittersweet because it was kind of littering, but it was cool. I mean, it was unintentional. It fell out of the trash, but it was cool just to see our box just
That's
out
awesome.
there,
Ross Gordon, we're going to be back with you in just a moment. Got to squeeze in a quick commercial break. We'll be chatting again. Ross Gordon, CEO and founder of Catchco, after this quick break. Welcome back. I'm thrilled to be rejoined by the founder and CEO of Catchco, Catch Company, Ross Gordon. Ross, we were just chatting about some of your favorite destinations and places where you see some of the subscribers to Mystery Tackle Box. But let's get into what is Mystery Tackle Box. I realize it's supposed to be a mystery, but there are different packages that are available. Can you tell us a little bit about the evolution and sort of how that idea was formed, and a little bit about what that subscriber looks like? What is the profile of somebody that should be subscribing to a monthly mystery at their doorstep?
Yeah, definitely. So Mystery Tackle Box, we just celebrated our 8-year anniversary. So we started 8 years ago out of the garage with just a simple idea of an easy way to simplify fishing for people who are passionate about the sport, wanted to learn new techniques, get a great deal in products, and have another company basically help guide them through this complicated process. I think what we've learned and what surprised us over the past couple years since we started is that our customer base is so much broader than we ever would have imagined. A lot of people when we first started said, well, this is only something that's good for beginners or someone just getting into fishing. And what we actually find is most of our subscribers are people who have already been fishing for a long time. They're intermediate anglers. Some of them are expert anglers. They're fishing local bass tournaments competitively, but they just love our box because, A, they say it's like Christmas once a month. It's just if you love fishing and you're passionate about it, getting lures sent to you every month is just exciting and fun. You'll come across some new products that you may not have been familiar with from other parts of the country or sometimes even other parts of the world. So that's a lot of fun. But it's a great gift. We have a lot of people who buy it for their spouses, for their children, for their parents, for their coworkers, as you know, in your case, you mentioned. But really, it's great for people who love fishing or getting interested in fishing. If you're fishing for the very first time, you've never fished before, it's probably not the product for you. There's probably a little bit of a learning curve where you would have already have to have some information, but aside from that, it's really good for all types of anglers. And
it sounds like you have fun, you and your team, which certainly that's the other part of entrepreneurship, is you've been able to grow an amazing, talented group of folks that surround you. But it sounds like it's a lot of fun to source some of the products, as you just said, from around the country. What's that experience like?
Yeah, it's been amazing. There's a trade show every year called ICAST. It's the biggest trade show in the fishing industry in Orlando, although this year it was remote. But it's in July, and fishing manufacturers from around the country and from around the world come and show all the latest and greatest products. It's a great opportunity for us to see everything new that's coming out to market and really bring some exciting stuff to our customers. We've also started within the Catchco umbrella, as we've grown, a number of our own product brands. So because we have such a strong relationship with our consumers. They give us a lot of feedback on what are the kind of products they like, what don't they like, and we've been able to create some really exciting products and brands that have performed very well, and we actually sell those in Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart, the big box stores as well.
Yeah, and you gather all that feedback you're able to bring a better experience to your customers, to your subscribers. So, Ross, we're running out of time. I want to make sure our listeners know where they can find out all about this amazing mystery tackle box and all about the brands under the Catch Co umbrella. Ross, can you share a website and any contact information?
Yeah, sure. MysteryTackleBox.com is the subscription product. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. CatchCo.com says all the different brands that we've created, the different shopping experiences, and you can follow us on the same social media site.
Well, appreciate you sharing your entrepreneurial lessons, your fishing advice, and all that good stuff. Ross, come back in on the program real soon.
Shalom, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And to success, let's get down to business. Check out my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can download podcasts from the past 6+ years of the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. And we'll be back next week with a brand new episode, some great lineup. Success, let's get down to business. We'll talk to you next Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on AM 560, The Answer.